Hey Astro Kids, and welcome back. And in today's video, we'll be talking about Mars in the fourth house. Let's go ahead and jump right into this. So before we start, just a few quick disclaimers. You first want to understand what sign is Mars positioned in. Is Mars exalted in the sign of Capricorn, debilitated in Cancer, or in its own sign of Aries or Scorpio? Or is it in a sign that it enjoys being in? This is very important to understand how Mars will function within your natal chart. Along with this, you want to see is Mars in conjunction with any planets or receiving aspects from any planets. You also want to see where is Aries and Scorpio placed within your natal chart, as Mars will have a direct influence over these houses. You also want to see is Mars compatible with your ascendant. Along with this, it's important to understand that Mars will mature at the age of 28. So this is a very significant point in your life where Mars will take rulership over you. Another important moment is during a Mars return, when Mars returns back to the position where it was placed at in your natal chart. Along with this, the most significant moment that Mars will have an influence over you is during a Mars Mahadasha. So if you have not seen my video on the Mars Mahadasha Bhuktis, I will leave a link for that above and down below in the description. So what does Mars represent? Mars is known as an army general in astrology. Mars represents our energy, our willpower, our determination. It is a planet of courage, of enthusiasm, of pushing forward. It is all about taking action. Mars does not want to think. It is all about acting first. Mars represents blood, brothers, and property. It is also a signifactor of anger, so it's very important that we understand how to control Mars within our chart as well. Mars is also a signifactor of property and real estate. Along with this, Mars represents mathematics and computer skills. It is a planet that is all about taking action and going for what you want. It shows how you take action, how willing you are to take risk, and your ability to overcome enemies. So what does the fourth house represent? The fourth house is the house of our connection with our mother, our home, our nourishment, our inner peace and security. It is a house of happiness, of comfort and luxuries, of conveniences. It is a house that is connected with our family, with our lineage, with our early environment. It is also connected with our home country. The fourth house is also a house of vehicles. It is the house of our heart. So once again, it is all about our sense of inner happiness and security. The fourth house is a very private house. It is where we deal with our family matters and concerns. So Mars is very uncomfortable in this fourth house because once again, Mars is all about taking action and fighting. And this fourth house is about peace and inner security. So there's a conflict with Mars being in this fourth house. Mars is actually debilitated in the sign of Cancer, and the fourth house is the original placement of Cancer. So we can see that there are challenges that will happen when Mars is positioned here. Mars in the fourth house can give a lot of chaos and difficulties within the early environment. Sometimes there can be violence and all sorts of arguments and conflicts that disturb your inner peace and happiness growing up. You could find that you're very restless within your home environment, that you are someone who has a difficulty with actually finding a way to relax and settle within the home. You may find yourself moving from home to home, trying to find that sense of security. Sometimes there could also be a lot of travel or activity outside of the home where you are not currently present within your home environment for the majority of the time. So this definitely is going to make you someone who's very restless, very active, always wanting to be on the go. It's very hard to relax within the home environment. You can also have conflicts with your mother for some of you, especially if Mars is positioned poorly within the chart. You can find a lot of arguments and conflicts with your mother figure sometimes, but If Mars is placed well in the chart, then the mother can be very supportive. Mars in this fourth house can also make you someone who has a strong attachment to your home country. You could be someone who wants to fight and stand up for your country. But again, if Mars is badly positioned in the chart, then you might find that you have a lot of conflicts and disturbances within your home country, which can take you into foreign lands. Mars in the fourth house also makes you someone who is highly determined, courageous, and independent. And this independence can sometimes be the reason why you find a lot of disturbance within your home environment. There is sometimes a difficulty with living with other people. You like to have your space and independence to yourself. Mars here also can give you skills in real estate, in land and property and vehicles, as this fourth house is all about land and vehicles. And Mars is also the karaka of real estate. So you can make a great deal of wealth, especially if Mars is placed well in the chart with this position in real estate and property dealings. You could be very skilled at dealing with all things related to the home environment, repairs, building, and so on. Mars, as it aspects onto the seventh house of the chart, is going to give some issues within relationships as well, particularly with your spouse, but also sometimes with business partnerships and close partnerships as well. You can have a lot of conflicts, arguments, disputes happening. Sometimes your spouse can also have a very intense personality that is difficult for you to deal with. You can have a desire to control your spouse, which can lead to some conflicts and disagreements as well. With Mars's aspect onto the seventh house, it is definitely better for you to be self employed most of the time. Again, you can have a lot of conflicts and disagreements taking place within any kind of partnership. So you want to be very cautious about partnerships around business dealings. Mars, as it aspects onto the 10th house, again is going to create some conflicts in the area of career. You can have conflicts with bosses and authority figures, people who are over you, giving you orders. Again, you have a strong level of independence. So you are better off working for yourself with this position. You can have a very imaginative and creative mind with Mars in the fourth house, which can give you many ideas in your career that you can pursue. This can give you a great deal of success. Mars's aspect onto the 10th house can sometimes indicate working from home as well. So again, you might find that you're very active within your home environment, that it's very difficult to rest and settle. So you may be very focused on your work and your responsibilities within your home space. Sometimes some conflicts within the home environment can also disturb your career, especially if you're working from your home space and dealing with negative energies within your home. But also, you can find that your home can have a lot of conflicts and difficulties that you have to tend to, which can distract you from your career matters. Mars will also aspect the 11th house of your chart. This will create a lot of conflicts, also dealing with friends and social network. So you can find that some of your contacts and friend circle, there can be a lot of conflicts, drama, jealousy, all sorts of things playing out within this environment, which can disrupt some of your relationships. Sometimes you are very attached to your friendship as well, where you are very intense about your relationships. You want to make sure that you have this very close connection with friends. And sometimes this can create some distance within your friend circle as well, where people can leave your friend circle from becoming too tightly bound or controlling in this area. So you want to be very careful about this. There can sometimes be anger and conflicts playing out within your social circle as well. Sometimes people can actually just leave your friend circle for no particular reason. Again, there could be a lot of jealousy, a lot of drama that's playing out in this area. The 11th house is also dealing with your incoming gains, so you can find a lot of fluctuation in your wealth as well. Definitely, this is a position, once again, that is excellent for self employment. Sometimes the aspect of Mars onto the 10th house can also make you restless within your work as well. So sometimes it is difficult for you to be in a stationary career. You want something that is keeping you active and busy. Typically, these areas will calm down around the age where Mars begins to mature. So, this is something that can get better with time, but ultimately, this is an area of your life where you will find many conflicts and difficulties. So, it's very important to understand how to channel this energy properly with Mars placed in this fourth house. And again, you want to see other indications within your chart before coming to a conclusion. Mars in this fourth house will give you a lot of energy, a lot of determination, a lot of confidence and pride, which can help you to succeed in life. But ultimately, this gives you an independent path.